Hey, we're looking at the new Hornady Reloading app. Now this app is available. It's a free download in the Android Google Play Store and the Apple Store. Once it's installed, you'll see it on your device. I'm going to go ahead and open it. And to start with, act as if you've never logged in, never done anything in it, and show you some of what you get for free and some of the other various ways of getting more data. Keep in mind, if you are one of the hundreds of thousands of users that already have our Hornady Ballistics app with the Ford-off engine and so on, this is a single sign-on type system. So the username and password you use to log into Ford-off, you can log into this app with, and vice versa. You don't have to have a different username and password for each of the Hornady apps that's currently there or anything that's coming out. By default, it's going to come up with a benefits little pop-up here. It talks about why it would benefit you to create an account and so on, but it does allow you to go in without. So I'm just going to do continue. And this brings you to the main home page for the app. You can see we have some new product videos and so on at the top. And then we have some main square buttons there that get you to some significant portions of the book, but the majority of the book is up around the menu key at the upper left. You hit the menu. This is where you get the full table of contents of the book, some free reloading data, and some of even our obsolete load data that we've taken out of the print book over the years for cartridges that are typically ones we're not going to deal with again. They're considered dead for the most part. But let's start at the top. Here's free load data. Now this is data that we have in here. You'll see that it'll pull up by tapping on any one of these. I just chose the Valkyrie with our 88 grain ELD match bullet, for example. Load data here. Sometimes we have cartridges or bullets or items that come out after we've done a handbook. We still want to support those items. We want to get the data out there. There isn't really any other better way to do it. So customarily we've had it on our website. Now we're going to have them in this app. So that's where you can find this info. Now at the bottom, you'll notice there's a few buttons. There's some kind of, places to record information, load notes, things like that. The H in the middle is actually a home button, and the star is your favorites and so on. And then of course, there's a menu to access other settings, and we'll get to some of that later. But for now, I'm just going to hit the H in the middle to go back home. Of course, this pop-up's still there. I'm just going to click continue. So that is your very, very, very basic navigation through this app, but we're going to continue to look at some things. Again, this is all free information that we have here so far. I'm going to go back to the menu, hit the back button, and we can access the rest of the book. So those of you who may already have a printed book and so on, that information is, most of that information is here. Although the beginning of the book, the first 100 pages, starts with what we've clicked on here. It may take a second to load. This is actually a little dependent on your Wi-Fi, your connection, and so on. But you'll see as soon as it's here, you can scroll through, and it is pages out of the book. The Heritage and Vision started off with the foreword and introduction and so on and so forth. This is all part of the book. I'm going to go back to the menu and go down to even basics of reloading. Again, as it does, you'll see this is very similar to the book if you've already seen the book. The rifle bullet guide. This is in the menu. This is also one of the squares that's on the main homepage of the app. Here you can go in and you can view information about our bullets. And it's in order of caliber, essentially. I clicked on 6.5, and here it's order of weight. Bullets that are here are our current bullets and some of our recently discontinued bullets. Those may still be out on people's reloading benches for years after we discontinue them, so I tend to leave them in the book. You'll notice that unlike the paper book, here we have a view online. So if you're curious about a bullet, you can actually click the view online, and it's going to open up in a browser, take you to our website where you can see more information about that bullet and a list of retailers in your area, things like that. So that's one advantage to having the app is you have more information available at your fingertips. Again, this is a bit dependent on your connection and speed, but this just opened up that bullet's information directly on our website. I'm going to go back to the app and back to the menu and back to the main menu. So from there, you can see we have rifle reloading data, handgun reloading data, and then some of the stuff from the end of the book, the charts, conversion tables, illustrated glossary, and obsolete reloading data. I'm going to click on rifle reloading data. And again, we're still dealing with free information that's in the book. You'll see here we have a list of cartridges, and I'm going to choose the 204 Ruger. 204 Ruger, the cartridge schematic, the case schematic, the header information about our load data, and the cartridge blurb are all available. Again, this is all part of the free app. It's when you actually go to the load data that, unless it's specifically in the free section, this is where you have options to purchase that load data, and we've made it available in 3 different ways. For a person who only has a few cartridges and so on that isn't interested in buying a full book, we give you an option. It's much like buying music. You can buy 1 cartridge for 99 cents. You unlock that whole cartridge. If you want this whole book as it is in the 10th edition, say you've never purchased the 10th edition book and you just want that in an app form, that is $19.99. Or we offer a subscription, and the subscription basically gets you that whole 10th edition book, everything we've got, along with everything we've already shot for the next edition, the 11th edition, along with updates every time we add something new. We're going to spend a lot of time in this next year and a half adding more data for the 11th edition book. So those will all be automatically updated in your app. The other benefit to subscribing is, and this is $19.99 per year, you get all of that. You get all the 10th edition, you get all the new data updates as we shoot it, and then you'll also get an 11th edition hardcover book in the mail when that comes out. And right now our plan is end of 2020-ish, somewhere around there is when we plan to complete the 11th edition book, and so on and so forth. So when you click select wait, this is where, since it's leading to something where you actually have to purchase, we need some information to proceed. So this is where you will basically need to create an account or log into an account and go from there. All right, so we've created an account, logged in with an email. I'm going to go back to the menu and choose Rifle Reloading Data, or I could have chosen Rifle Reloading Data right from the home screen, either way. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to purchase the 204 Ruger, for example. Again, I'm still in the free information. Now when I click select wait, since I've logged in, I have the 3 different options that are there. I can buy that cartridge right now for 99 cents. I could buy the whole 10th edition, everything that's there for the 10th edition, or I could subscribe. Remember the subscription, $19.99 per year. You get the full book. You get all the data we've already shot for the next book and data as it comes out for the next edition, plus you get that next edition hardcover book in the mail. So right now, we'll treat this as if we're just buying the cartridge. When I click buy now, it's going to open up on a browser window to complete the transaction. Now, of course, there's a lot of guys that may reload 2, 3, 4, 5 cartridges, whatever it may be. This gives you a chance where if you don't want to have to do 5 different transactions, you can simply go in and find the other cartridges that you load and select them as well. So say I'm going to do 223 Remington. We better find the 6.5 Creedmoor because it's the most popular cartridge going these days. And maybe you got something else. So let's say the 7 Rem Mag. So now we've got a few different cartridges. I'm going to click checkout. And this is, of course, where you go in and you fill in your information to finish that order, and that will unlock those cartridges for you. So we've just been through how to purchase multiple cartridges. Keep in mind, when you can buy the whole book for $19.99, if you unlock 20 cartridges, it is going to unlock the whole book for you. So if you get started on that path and you've got, say, 8 or 9 cartridges and you get some new guns and you buy some more, if you just keep buying enough to buy 20 cartridges, it will unlock the whole book for you. Let's also look at, buying the editions, similar process, or subscribing. We'll hit subscribe, and you'll see here, it basically just takes you right to that checkout page. It's going to unlock the whole thing. So we'll proceed now as if you click subscribe, and we'll start looking through the book as well. Okay, so now we've purchased a subscription. We've unlocked the whole book. You'll see now, instead of just having the 10th edition as an option, there is an 11th edition option there as well, and we'll go to that 11th in a minute. Let's just go into the 10th for now because this is a whole complete book, the existing book that's out there right now. Back to the home page, of course, this looks the same. I'm going to go into the rifle reloading data, and I'm going to go right down to that 204 Ruger again. Now when we go in and select a weight, you'll see we can choose from any of the different weight sections in that cartridge. Go to the 32 grain, very popular with the VMAX, and the load data will load in. So here's our load data. You see you can scroll to catch all of the columns and all of the rows. I'm going to go back and choose a different cartridge. The ever popular 6.5 Creedmoor. Select weights. And here is the 140 to 143 grain load data for the 6.5 Creedmoor. Okay, I'm going to go back to the home. Before I do, notice that the little star for the 6.5 Creedmoor is selected. This is something that it's already been assigned as a favorite. So another way to access this, let's say I'm back home, I just clicked on the home screen, and you want to get quickly to some of your favorite cartridges, click the star, and I already have 3 cartridges here that I've assigned as favorites. So just a quick way to get to those cartridges and so on. So if you want to assign a cartridge as a favorite, basically go to that cartridge, navigate to it. So I'm going to go back here to the rifle reloading data, and I'm going to find, well, we'll use the 243 Winchester as an example. Once you're in it, all you have to do is simply tap on the star button there for 243, and you'll see that you've now created that favorite. So now, easy to access right from the favorites list. Back in 6.5 Creedmoor, this is another one where I've created a range log and some notes. And basically these are fairly simple, just places to keep notes at this point. I just have test notes written in and so on. We are going to be adding a lot more functionality to this in the future. Different ways where you can compile information based on the cartridge that you have and things like that. So that's something we're going to continue to flesh out over time. Okay, so that, as we noted earlier, we had the 10th edition and some 11th edition information because we are a subscriber. In the upper right, there's a button there for your editions that'll take you back to that. There's also an option to get there under the main menu. I'm going to go into the 11th edition now, and you'll see that it's very similar looking from this aspect, but if I go up to the main menu, all of the introductory material for the book and the glossary and all that, that is not there yet. That's stuff we're working on, any changes that we need to for the 11th edition still. So more information will be populated in this section as we finish them throughout this next year to finish up the 11th edition. Going into the rifle reloading data, you'll see more items that are marked new here all the time as we do more data. So for example, 307 Winchester, we have added the 140 grain monoflex to that data, for example. This is a small example, but just something that we've added for the 11th edition. So this is something that you can get as a subscriber. We're going to be adding a ton more data in the near future to work on the 11th edition. All of the new cartridges we've come out with lately, like the 6.5 PRC, the 300 PRC, the 224 Valkyrie data that we've done, all of that is being added or has been added already, and we will continue to add and expand more and more and more throughout this next year. So this Hornady Reloading app is available now. Check it out in your app store, whether it be the Google Play Store for Android or the Apple Store. It is a free app. There is in-app purchasing for data. There's also some free data. There's going to be a whole lot more added functionality that we'll be working on next now that we've got the main portion of the app done.